Good morning. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. Alright, I think we're hopefully done with that one. We've got a server set up. I haven't got the compiler set up yet. Arguments, one life, one life. We're still... It remembers its original command and nothing since. We're at 57 now? Okay, so building is still seems to be good. Run base account. Alright, so the thing that's bothering me the most is when you go to use a bow from too far away and your character runs at the wolf or whatever. Quiver keys were a small annoyance. Twins. I think we can probably call this okay for now. The rest of these, this is still kind of patch outstanding, or unless I haven't seen it get merged. We did that. That got merged. No one commented on it. Of course, they're probably all using Hedua. Oh, and this thing is broken. I guess I'm curious why it's broken, even if I'm not sure about the feature. It hasn't really been relevant too often in actual gameplay. Oh. So did I do something that made it disabled by default? Is that what happened? I can't refollow as a baby. Well, if the server crashes, the server crashes. Unfortunately, I don't have a good change log on this because the... Well, no, I've never published that one, so it's never in the published repo. But I think I did recently add some flags to it. There's hierarchy key. That has a default value. Get setting string does not have a default value. Actually, does get string setting have a default? Oh. Well, that says if not equal to null, and it equals to 1. So it should not be the case that if that file is not present, we don't have it. Well, I copied this from my main one. No, and then I overwrote the settings. So we definitely don't have it. And then this instance does have it working. Are you case sensitive? I know there's camera key in there. Well, that's an awful search. Absolutely terrible. I must have got that one recently. And that's like all a while ago. So yeah, I don't think I ever had a file for that, or I don't currently have a file for that. And this copied from main, so it wasn't there. But we just ran it and got that. So it doesn't seem like it's that. Why would that not be working? If the hold state got out of sync? Not taking photo. I don't know if there's any other flags. Well, maybe I just did a build without it. So that puts us back at bow pathing. That'll probably end up being more in my keys than in the other stuff. We have to find it first and decide what's going to change. So it is specifically with keys. It's probably going to, well, which is awkward because it essentially puts the changes in interaction refactoring instead of interaction keys, being the interaction keys to test it. SDG does allow you to apply things to different patches, so that might work. So that's my function. I'm pretty sure. And I put it into there. Prepare for action message is mine. Use that as mine. No. How is this used? This is going to be in a use at. I should remove that. Our live object. If we're holding something, and use distance is greater than 1, I don't know if this was me or him. did I actually change here? Okay. So his code specifically has dest ID if there's an object. So I guess throwing a ball wouldn't work in that case anyway. This blocks out the shift click because you don't want to try and cut down on, you know, people trying to shoot wolves and whatnot with the shift. If there exists a transition, well, because then there's the question: am I moving that, or is the server moving that? I feel like I did these for specific reasons, but it's been so long since I worked on this. Our live object holding. Wait a minute. Oh, greater than or equal to D. Can execute, player target, not adjacent. If it's not greater than or equal to D, or the use distance, then we need to move newer. And otherwise we move near to. All right, so here's a question. You're still following, but you'll probably die. Nope, I even got my well, let's get. Yeah, that was for quick. It was actually testing that death bug. And cars are on top. I mean, sure. Yes, there's a wolf over there. Huh. I guess they all fled the immediate area. Now you see, well, no, I can move. Is there anything you shoot with a bow and arrow that's not deadly? I guess there's bison. Is it bison? Or buffalo? No, mouflon. Maybe definitely farther away. I can't really act from there, though. They keep moving. Got a tree in the way. It moved by the time I got there, so I can't tell if it's going to actually do a use when it gets there, and if it's going to go to... Okay, so no, it just walks there. So that does not seem to evaluate to can execute. Of course, that may have been a click. Okay, there's nothing there. We don't run at the wolf or whatever. Now you're too close. You gonna bounce back and forth? Okay, so it will walk up there and use it. I still don't like getting that close. Let's maybe try not to crash the server. But either we need to account for distance in our move near to, or we need to simply do nothing. Now, having to be in distance does add a certain element to the whole hunting thing, so I don't know about the move into distance. We might just want to say we're not even going to do a can execute from here. Okay, well, not necessarily that. Oh, so we're always checking this? No, we do an immediate check for distance. We just go ahead and say execute. This is move near to? Well, I guess we... Yeah, move near to. That's from where we're standing. But we don't do this if it's in range? Oh, well, yeah, there might be main tile on wide object. Or getting into trucks. Need to move to empty adjacent first if it exists. Find closest path spot. Consider all the places around it. Compute path to dust. So when do we call that for something that's not use distance greater than 1? We generally do want to execute. Store old dust. If found empty. Now, it might end up being easier to do this with a dog and dog stick or something. Yeah, and this comes back to not having quiver keys. might be in range. Okay, so we still ran. Well, yeah, we called move near to. So actually, that's the wrong thing anyway. This is use at. If we can't execute. So this is only use distance greater than 1. I think I might just do that. And then this is if it's not use distance greater than 1. That might be in range again. Oh, and I didn't have a baby. So you're moving even faster. Wonderful. Kind of getting where they're going back and forth again. The other one was kind of stuck. Okay. Did nothing. We could... We could try telling it to send the command, just so you get a bounce. Oh. No, this is invalid target. Oh, but it is a target. Well, those are mostly in range. Holding ID, distance, holding ID. We're not doing the dest check? Maybe I've got something upstream of use at. Okay. So these are in range. So the in range action is to do that. I guess all the animals are fleeing, they just kind of progressively ran away from me. Or the crash just took them out. Okay. So actually we're not testing distance. So that's attempted use. Actually, are we sending the message? Okay, so that's a message. On any kind of empty tile, it's not. That's a rock. What about... Oh no, that's just an object. Doesn't have to be if it has an interaction. So I'm not even trying to send that. Now, was that tied to there being a transition? Because I did kind of move that... move that thing off. What was the old behavior? If Ken asks just checking transition, it might not do anything there. Okay, it will walk there and try to use it. But it's a walk there and try to use it. Now, was that just a use? Yeah, that's a move use. So that would have to be hitting one of these cases. And we thought it was moving that one. Are there other checks here? Yeah, if it can't execute, it should send. So it's not even trying. Is that perhaps a... It's a next action message to send. Oh, so what does that do? Oh. Oh, this is the other code. Why do we set that? Aha. Next action message set not equal to null, and current speed equals 0, and is grid adjacent or player action target not adjacent. So this wouldn't actually be a test in this case. No, actually we have to recompile. So this is what the problem with this is it's not giving you feedback about whether the fact that you're in range. So this is giving you feedback that you took an action, but it's not giving you feedback about whether you're in range of it. So can execute is by default false. So we would just not have this. So that's within range. Realistically, you would actually have like an arrow show up there, but of course an arrow can't be in that tile, so you have to figure out where to put it. And that's too far. Oop. So you're definitely in range. You're probably in range. Okay, so just don't do anything. I have to get close, I don't have to worry about running headlong into a wolf. Now the question is, well, did I actually implement move near to there? That would be... And is this a separate patch? Because it definitely interacts with some of my other code. Close enough to use object right now, so we do it, and... I guess he just kind of rolls down the move case, which would actually make that kind of hard to pull that case out, I guess. Which we'll eventually work our way down through all of this, probably to move near to. So we'd have to kind of go double back and check. Which actually raises the question, is that in fact the default behavior? Or is that something that kind of was like, oh yeah, we'll just implement the run up to it? Okay, that does seem to be... Actually, I guess I'd normally do... that is indeed the default behavior. Pointer down. Else if... There's no range in here, but it might be counting on something having been determined previously. Right, this is, yeah, pointer down. So I put my function in here. So I guess maybe it exits out before here? Or it doesn't consider distance. All right, so the patch would actually want to apply that to. Would be interaction refactoring. Let's see if. I'm not sure. What would you update besides the current patch file? All right, so that's a little fix. I could perhaps start looking at pushing out some of the missing string stuff. Well, I should still probably play with that a little bit. So maybe for now, or play with this a little bit. I guess I can always undo it or edit it before publishing. Patches master, no, actually CD patches master. So we're gonna do a couple things here. We're gonna do, I don't know if that's a README thing. Oh, I never actually published 76. Okay. Range use actions from outside of range will not move towards the target. Well, range move. Range use key actions. And actually, so that wasn't actually necessarily based on original code in that case. Probably having a comment there is still good. And that did end up replicating base behavior. I've actually been forgetting to push some stuff out. All right, that is in testing. Now we're gonna have to figure out some stuff with transitions because, well, conditions. So what are the conditions that we're using. So what are my backpack keys? BP use, BP drop. SREMV was only used for container anyway. So I might, So use on an item. I might have to understand what that means. Okay, so these are all self-rem. These are all selves. No. On the standard actions, they're all self. This isn't even like a use that or anything. They're just kind of special case. Oh, this is assuming the standard keybind. So let's say self slot 5. SREM. And something is contained, so that might be a factor. So if we're holding something, that one is a drop. All right, I might actually have some leftover notes from this. Move, run, eat self, use object. Put in backpack. Remove cycle in backpack. Yeah, it doesn't really get into... That gets into some of the what you think of it as. Not into the detailed. All right, BPUs. We can be holding something. Or we can be not holding something. And this is probably what's preventing us from pulling out bows and such. Drop. I don't see any other conditions. This is a self, though. But this is only if holding. So that does nothing if not holding. But the meaning of that is, like, empty my hands. So we don't want that to be it. Even though that would be kind of it. And then this is contents. So I'm going to have to special case containers with Well, maybe quivers and such would end up being that instead of that. Because we still have this one. Which is holding, drop, put in. And not is take srem. So that's going to specifically try to put something in. That's going to remove or swap. If we have an item that works on it, it can't go in the container. You're going to use it. So standard use key'd work for that. I think I need to special case this one to look for cases where there's an interaction. And then we can still use this for put in and this for take out. Oh, maybe it's actually drop that does the cycle. If holding, it's cycle. If not holding, remove something. No, that does formatting stuff. So is there anything in the client that currently checks? Now, he wouldn't be checking for backpack specifically. It would be a use on clothing item of some sort. Mod click on hit clothing. Not equal to -1. If food value. Let's say or mod click. Hit self. Now he might be doing like this section is all mod click and this section is all not. Oh, wait, this is if not mod click. So hit self. It's not a mod. AKA, like, was it shift or controller? Or you right click? For holding something that's edible, eat it. Else it's a mod click. Yeah, so there's drop or remove. Yeah, so there's something else that's doing clothing. Hit clothing index. If dist equals 0, if hit self. Mouse cur over ID. Well, we've got the record for it here, so it might not be showing up directly. Current mouse over clothing index. This is in step. This is highlights. So that's just for highlight, I guess. No, pointer down. This is the one we already did. Holding ID greater than 0. that only handles food. So I appear to have used a different command for this, because he only uses that for food. So use self, drop sremv. Because maybe they regularly use head effects I didn't like. Or it got reinterpreted. That's not specifying an index. Now it has to be self. Oh, action. Well, I should have seen self. But it might get caught up in, oh, extra. Hit clothing index. Let's say use on baby. remv from standard container. Contained item. And it has a bare hands transition. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Oh. Okay, so it's not easy. We click the contained item. Oh, that might be for table, though. Not use... And maybe he repurposed the flag. Container. Use remv. Nothing about clothing. Okay, so here's... We can narrow this down a little bit. Oop, don't go there. Nope. I'll use that command after. Got message. Doesn't like that state for some reason. All right. I guess what I'm interested in specifically is. Well, it's there. So that was a self. Oop. So if I right-click on that, it takes the backpack off. If I click on backpack, it normally takes it off. So there is a distinguisher there. Okay, so that's a self. That's a self. We didn't see a lot of selves in the code, though. That's an sremv. self-remove, but doesn't... That's an sremv. I guess if it's empty. Wait. Ah, so okay, so it only takes it off if it's empty. So that's the server like reinterpreting something, or just how it interprets it. So that is a self command. Okay, that's me. That's me. Pointer down. Use on self. Not mod click. Oh no, I was misinterpreting this range because of his ifs probably. So it sends a self. It checks to see if we're eating something. Hit clothing index. So this is actually happening on the server. Or it's happening entirely on the server, rather. That type equals self. Self for baby. Yeah, it's all main. Target player. I think this is all feeding, or all baby stuff. Use on self baby. Yeah. Oh, I actually can't scroll over. Okay. Because I'm word wrap. What does the clothing ID look like from here? That would be for a put on. Oh, is it only for things that aren't containable? Because a bow doesn't fit in a backpack. Clit clothing transition. P-trans is a function I've seen before. Next player holding ID, click clothing ID. So that might be part of it. This is a self action if anything has the transition. Non-wearable item on your body or convert clothing to a different type of clothing. So to be fully proper about it, we'd want to check for that. To transform clothing. Collect the clothing. Now I have a way of handling it to deal with all kinds of possible complexities. Clothing decay times change, number of slots change. Works for a moving sword from backpack, which was the original thing. Collect clothing trends, new actor, set clothing by index, collect clothing trends by new target. So there's not any other immediate checks there. So what we're looking at is collect the clothing trends, holding ID, click the clothing ID. So this must be doing that and then redoing it with the transition. Instant decay. All we want to know is that there exists a transition, though. So I don't know if this function is client-side. Same as getTrans with actor change chance and target change chance applied. Return pointer managed internally. A limit of 100 results can be used by cause simultaneously. Is a probability set category. Well, that's what he's using. Of course, he needs the actual result. I just need to know if the transition exists. Does yes, that never occurs in this code, whereas this does. Holding ID, dest ID. I'm gonna have to determine what my clothing is. I'm not sure if I'm doing that right now. So if holding is greater than 0, the clothing.backpack. There was something else that was looking it up by array. Clothing contained, okay. So what is backpack then? It is not here. It's a clothing set. Animation bank? Object bank? It is a object record, so there's probably an ID under there. All right, so we want to know if there's a bare hand transition. If there's a holding ID, that's going to get interpreted by the server. It'll take care of it. And we already determined that backpack is not equal to null. Oh, no, wait. Well, we've already determined it's... Hmm. 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 Get bare hand clothing transition. Okay, we missed this before. It is specifically 0. Too young for transition, because you do have swords and bows on there. But there's going to be a blocking transition for the mod anyway. That leave a non-wearable item on your body. Yeah. I can let the server deal with the details. I just need to send the command. I guess this is really an OR, isn't it? And his style is OR there. Yeah, it's a bit hard to read. Well, we've already done it once. What I often do is like that. If the conditions line up, we can still see that it's continuing the conditional. Now hopefully we can see the results. We can also see that something is being sent. All right. Oh, I should have stone in there. Nope. Yeah, I always do that. One of these days, I should probably figure out why it does that. I mean, it's not a bug that affects you during play, but I think the force might be part of it. Okay, so that works about like we'd expect. Oh, I can't. Oh, can you not? You can't take an arrow out of a quiver. At least not a quiver with a bow. And that's not... Well, okay, it's possible from there to take an arrow out. But right-click removes the bow. So maybe it's a bit of a special case. So we already checked with our sharp stone that it works in the backpack. Make sure the keys still work. Oop. Yeah. You work, you drop. Let's get different items. That cycles, that puts away. That does not grab, but... But we can actually use those things now. So once again, there's an IK patch. We're going to try refactoring. I don't think I had any debug code in there. Oh. We're still in the directory. Okay, that one actually didn't work. Refresh temp. What? Oh, that was the temporary thing that they did. Man, I thought that was a much smaller... I guess what I get for trying to do fancy. Oh, so it probably tried to pop that, push it down, and pop the difference as it was, push it down, and apply it. What does it think this is now? So that looks like all of that stuff. Yeah, we actually changed something in there. Last time, and it was fine. And we're on this refresh temp. Which is nothing, but we've tried to apply something. So the patch is there. We've got these changes. Pointer down. I gotta remove the entire function. All right. 24, 5, 16. 24, 1. So that's the end. So where's the conflict? Let's see, does this patch have interaction keys? We extracted a few functions. As long as it's not changed, I might just toss this and do it a little bit safer so we can actually see what happened here. Oh, I don't see the interaction keys function in there. I mean, interaction keys is a different patch. And is that what we've got? I think that's the end of it. Try interaction key. So this is actually next patch. Oh, did I? Yeah, interaction oh, this was interaction keys. So that's like that entire hunk. So it seems to be treating that as a patch. Wait, and interaction keys is still way up here. Push patches to the top. But that's the only way I know of to get it up. Well, it originally kind of came from there. Well, it's refresh temp is nothing. We're in a conflict state, so it's not actually that patch. Yeah, this is an easy enough one to redo. Oh, that was the git command. All right. Actually, we do want that line in there. Or get trans 0 and our live object, clothing, backpack, ID, okay, cool. Now we're right here. We should be able to refresh the current patch. And we shouldn't have any trouble going back. And then that is a useful change. Actually, I guess one thing at a time. I think well, I haven't tested the missing strings on 2-hall much. Um, we'll all right, what else do we got? I think I can actually get twins in here. Might as well go and have this one loaded up. Make sure we're well fed. Oh, you know what? Did I rebuild with everything? No. This is a game by Jason Rohr. However, it is public source, so I'm one of several people that do our own clients. I am not by any means the most popular client. It's mostly just me. But it started with movement just kind of bothering my wrist a little bit. And I've kind of gone on to other things. Make sure we're rebuilt. Yep, I had not rebuilt since I last shuffled patches. We did not change that, no. So you're there. Program was unexpected at this time. I have not seen that one, no. Program was unexpected at this time. Oh, it actually kept... Oh, because I guess they're using the same, like, twin file or whatever. Okay. Oh, and we have... Oh, they're twin Eves. That might be a little bit of a special case. But yeah, we're not getting anything here. Well, they don't have names, for one. They should probably be relation marked, though. Yeah, is that, like, while compiling, while running? I'm actually not sure who is who here. Okay, and we are not marking them as named either. Building. Is there a symbol in your program called program? I don't know what language you're in. I mean, maybe C++, because that's why you're here. Although maybe if you had like a syntax error leading into a header file, then it would show up in another header file. but you'd think that would actually stop before it got to the actual include statement. But then includes are technically processor. So I guess that an error in your header file, if you had a system header file after that, you had this like leftover syntax error that didn't actually cause trouble until you got the other file. I mean, is it giving you any line number information that you can kind of get close to that? Oh, Python. Okay. Well, yeah, that could be a syntax error. Because unexpected sort of sounds like a parsing thing. Oh. So this is, you're not even doing C++. You're doing Python. And the build system is giving you an error. Yeah, this is kind of the most C++ I've done for quite a long time. So I'm not really that knowledgeable on current build systems and the kind of errors they tend to run into. So that might be an operating system thing where it's not quite right for your exact version of things. Yeah. Compatibility. Okay, yeah. So, oh, well, yeah, Python could be a factor there too, especially if program is like part of the integration layer. But if it's like wrong version of Python, I know 2 to 3 had some big syntax changes. Uh, that was kind of like the big breaking changes. So if one part was written for the other version, you could have some issues there. If your extension, your C extension for Python was written for the wrong version, that would probably be a problem for that level of thing. And I don't do Python myself, so I'm not really familiar with how their dependency management is. Like, are they aware of 2 versus 3? Because I'm sure some packages are trying to support both, or like this version supports 2 and that version supports 3. Not even getting into what they could do with the C dependencies. So, yeah, I'm afraid I can't be too terribly helpful on that one. It's probably going to get into some Python integration stuff. I mean, maybe program is part of the thing you're trying to use. Maybe program is part of Boost. But it might be part of Python. So that's going to get pretty specific. I mean, we can look. No. No. Docs didn't get me specifically to program options. There's a program HPP. Program objects. And if you're talking about Pixar, I could see them doing compute stuff. This is a class lowercase program. Maybe that has something to do with translation to Python? They're trying to fix cases for Python standards. So program is a thing in Boost. So maybe could it be that there was a dependency on the wrong version of Boost? I don't know if that's a thing where they would like include it, or Boost would be like, a package that gets installed, and then it's on the system, and then you can have version incompatibilities. I mean, you'd hope that the whatever build system is doing this would just kind of take care of it, but if it's a system thing, could get ugly. Oh, and we did, I mean, we probably just clicked a random link here. Uh, yeah. Yeah, we're kind of getting all the versions mixed up here. Well, we know, and I don't know which one you're working with. Cumulatives, algorithm, align, array. Pressed pair. So it was under compute before. Yeah, there's compute, boost compute device. Maybe that's an internal thing. Augmented reality. But yeah, this is definitely outside my experience. So I can only have the very, very generic and kind of not current perspective on C++ stuff. This sounds like, I mean, I presume you've searched for the error message. That's the standard one. Files. I mean, this is some similar stuff. Okay, well, that's a batch file. I mean, maybe there's a batch file underneath. Oh, there's an interesting one. If something isn't like tolerant of spaces or certain paths. Well, that's files is unexpected, but program is indeed a thing in program files. So this isn't the exact error, but it's a concept you can be looking at in terms of what's getting fed to that build system. If something is installed under program files and whatever you're dealing with is not tolerant of the spaces or, other characters, depending on what you're building on versus what it was built for. Like if the packager was assuming a Linux environment and you're on Windows or vice versa. Well, I guess if you're getting a program, if it had program files built into the script somewhere and you didn't have it. No. I mean, program files does have the two variations at times. I'm literally just looking at sometimes some things can have issues with spaces in paths. People have gotten better about that, but you still think you see every once in a while. We also have if they are expecting a different format for most libraries will take care of this, but if this was something they just kind of threw together, you could have, backslash versus forward slash, the whole C:" bit. If they wrote it for a Unixy-like system, POSIX system, it wouldn't necessarily expect that. What was this? Universal scene description. Open source project. Well, it says Linux, Windows, Mac OS, so it's not they never considered it. It could be that things are not installed in the place they tested against. Huh. Well, release never built. That's probably for this version. OpenUSD. So they've got a dev version that's succeeding on Windows, but this appears to be a pretty recent thing. So they're actively working on them, but it may only be officially supported on Linux. Only limited testing has been done on these platforms. So they probably haven't done a whole lot of, testing against lots of different environments. Python is optional. Yeah, so they might not even have gotten to the Python part at this point on those cross-platform builds. So you haven't actually said if you are in fact on Windows. Yes, on Windows. Okay, so if you have Windows, well, I mean, there's always virtual machines if you can't get it installed, and that may or may not work depending on what you're doing. There is also, and I probably scrolled the original stuff way the heck off, the WSL Windows Subsystem for Linux. Yeah, and even Mac is kind of in the same status, but they do have more of a POSIX environment there. So I think you need the Pro version of Windows 10. But there's a thing called WSL Windows Subsystem for Linux that is kind of like a specially adapted virtual machine that has like all of the file sharing stuff hooked up. Now there's two versions of it. Yeah, okay, so you have that as an option. I'd honestly just say look it up. It's been a while since I installed it, so you should just be able to look up some documentation on that. If you are, it can semi-transparently use files on your Windows drive and vice versa. There can be some overhead there. So like I'm running this in WSL, but it seems like the actual Docker builds are slower in this shell versus the other one because I'm running it on the regular Windows file system. Currently, I could move the whole thing over into WSL land and probably take care of that. But yeah, so it sounds like this might be a path issue in the Windows version of this. So that might give you some guidelines, and especially if you're using the release version and they have these builds working in the dev version, so like your version doesn't actually support it in any way. That is something you might have to research. Yeah, there's build USD, Mac OS X, toolset option. Wrong USD tool executable finding on Windows. So like these things are like pull requests. They aren't even in yet. So there's definitely still some things getting worked out there. And there's less pull requests than there are issues. Should building for Windows with Python fail? Well, it just says USD does not support this version of Windows. Doesn't say what the error is. And it's just not supported. Oh, recent Python changes. Oh, okay. Interesting. But yeah, I'm heavily leaning towards it's not fully supported on Windows, so you're going to be kind of on bleeding edge territory for trying to get that to work. Boost build fails. Failed to run. Well, it's not something about program there. But yeah, you seem to be not alone there. So you might be able to find some of this stuff. Get in on the conversations with your experience. You could see if they have any other like support forums or anything, or if if they've got I don't know, a Discord or a Slack or maybe something on the website. Getting help. They've got a forum. There might be some build discussions over there. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty standard build command. Oh, Windows. Okay. Is this run the script? This might be for developers though, but maybe you'd need a developer version to get going at this point. Yeah, so that's kind of very general research and bug hunting stuff, but hopefully I gave you some direction. So, we do not seem to be recognizing twins at all. So name known. And then we do that. Let's mouse over. We don't do that for mother. We just got our own lineage. That's twin setup. Twin extra. Yeah, okay. I know I have some stuff with get relation. You probably have a... There has to be some other stuff in here. Twin, yeah. Twin if close enough together in age. Okay, cool. It's identical, so we're going to be looking for that. Get relation name. Does this get called... Oh, I've already got a hook in here for new player identification. Relation name, relation distance. Generate relation string. So this is going to be a 0. So this is for our child. That's the only place we do this. True. Yes, this is the only place we do this. When can we get a relation distance of 0? No relation. Descendant, ancestor. Brother, sister, twin. So this covers all of them right now. So I put this at a 1. That means that would mean they should have a heart. Of course, that may have been a birth message for the new player that I was hooking into. And we wouldn't be a birth because we're twins. Or, well, we were twin Eves in that case. What happens when I log in normally? If they're even still alive. And I'm not a twin now. Okay. Of course, now we're going to be in the brand new Eve situation again. Oh, we're twin babies now, and I actually need to be you to get us out of this cold. Oh, but as a birth, it worked. So Eves were a special case there. And actually, you should be able to move yourself now. You grew up enough in the meantime. So there's an issue with Eves. There is no current identification of naming. Okay, yeah, they didn't pick up each other. So we do that. It's testing. That G is going to be grave. So when we assign relation distance, we have all the information for that. I wonder if this is a better place. Because I did the mother thing. We just got our own lineage. Right, because it's specific to us, not relation for everybody. Right, so this could refresh from everything. The other thing we were looking at is what? Well, that's lineage. Okay, so this is if ID equals RID. If we're doing a twin check, well, it's going to be relation distance regardless. So it would be relation distance 1. Get relation name. I get relation name. Son, daughter, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, nephew. Twin identical. Big, little. So it's going to be for siblings. Close. Well, we've got the close enough together in age, but we're only returning a single value. Now, display ID might be an easy enough thing to get if we've got our two objects. Actually, we're passing this to relation name. Oh, this is a subfunction, though. Our object, display ID. We can do a secondary check. Why can't we just display ID? We still have to do birth time. That would be any brother or sister who had the same thing. Which is kind of starting to repeat a bunch of stuff in the relation name. The relation stuff. We could make it distance 0. Oh, twin Eves are unrelated. That is technically correct in the game system. Now it's going to technically tag it for non-identical twins. Did I even pass display ID in here? I did not. Although it does tag. Well. Okay, so, oh, and I forgot the twin. Oh. Alright, one of them, probably whoever was picked up more recently. Okay, who were you? Twins don't count to avoid abusing it. It's not that they're unrelated. I guess in terms of gene score, yes. All right, so you were our bass player, and 3 was you. We're probably gonna be babies again. Nope, we're twin Eves, who are completely unrelated. Naturally. Naturally. Or I just wait for them to get old enough to run. But, yeah, we're definitely seeing that. It's not doing anything actually to them, though. And this is only IDs and ages and things. So we'd have to do some post checks still. So that's the only time I think this would return 0. If I want to do this, outside of here, now my intent was that the 0 would be the manual only level. But I need to be able to identify a twin so that we can get their name and stuff. And this doesn't consider display IDs. So we're gonna have the non-identical twins. Because that was not important before. Now I could potentially do a fix-up here. It wouldn't work all the time. Because we also use it for like the graves and things. These kids are probably dead, huh? Oh, not quite. Almost, though. At this point, it'd be faster to run back. And you haven't been named. And I can't name myself. I guess I gotta name each other. Maybe. And nope. Who else is in here? I almost don't want to use my Vogue player because I eventually want to get them as like an Eve or something. No, you're a baby. Because we would have been the namer then, so me. And now I have no idea who's who. Okay, looks like, unless that's just you saw them named, that might be working. So the twin hearts do work. And if I can name the right patch, this will probably translate. Oh, this is technically 2 patches. It's like an interaction of 2 patches. We have name labels and show close family. So I almost have to modify one to set up for the other. I kind of don't like using that special value, but I'd have to do some kind of multi-return value to, like, have a parameter that's like is twin that also gets set or something. All right, compile check. This is going to make them completely dependent. I don't know if there was already dependency there. Nope, yep. Alright, so you were an adult. You guys still around? And that is name, that is heart. Export. Twin's name is known. I guess I got an early start today. This might actually be something that applies to One Life as well. I just don't look at that many decaying items. So we'll take a look at that first. I think I should take a break though, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, he is actually using turn. I wonder if he gets full turn. Or if it's going to be a little bit shorter, like, to match me. Or maybe he just didn't touch this fight at all. Or maybe it's just broken. Because his AI was written expecting a longer turn than he has. Maybe it's just broken.
Come on, cool in the gang. Oh, don't. Just fed it right to him. Oh, really?
It's kind of giving me pause. Well, breeze outside. Oh! I'm really glad we read that note because I thought we picked this place clean. This rifle cleaning kit is what I really.
Let's start the show!
Here, I'll just do all the work for you. Alright, have fun. Hit him once. Oh, look, you're doing such a good job. You're doing so well. Yeah, you can't get me up there, can you? Yeah, no, you can't. Really? Come on, guys. Just one. There we go. Proud of you.
Welcome back. I got so many people, I'm probably going to be a baby as Vogue. Of course, there's an easy way to fix that. Just reset the server. It's like the clean exit actually kills people, which means it actually causes the causes the crash. Let's see what decays. And specifically what decays into nothing? I guess it would be like a rag hat. I guess saplings would be O. Yeah. So that's just anything that decays to nothing doesn't have a indicator that it does so. So that's not gonna be too important. It's not gonna be too important. It would normally end up going here. No, actually, this would be time transition hints. That's a ways back. Is that before or after interaction? It's after interaction keys. Yeah, I don't need that right away. So what code is this touching right now? Very, very little. So if the actor is greater than -1, if it's equal to -1, its depth is unreachable. Actor greater than 0, and actor not equal to object ID. So if it changes. So get num hints is actually, I think, probably pretty key in whether it shows up or not. And then get trans hintable. Yeah, this is going to both be. Trans target greater than 0. The problem is if you enable 0, it might give you all the pickup. No, it's new target greater than 0. It might get you like put down transitions and things. Time passing plus rag hat equals nothing. So this is going to be a highly experimental one. No? I mean, engraved old grave was fine. I mean, that's wolf is wolf. That's a standard one. Yeah, I don't have a lot of, there's not a lot of things that just up and disappear. There's the cuttings. I guess we just go ahead and get a cutting. Oh, we started bouncing. Oop. Time passing. So that might be it. It's definitely going to don't ship it yet. Maybe I should have actually pushed out the previous patches. Oh well. There's still an export command in here. Show time hints for objects that disappear. So that leaves us with I don't know if there's a good way to deal with the help screen in 2 hours. I'd almost have to get into like publishing a combined translation text file or something. Assuming that they have new strings, and actually with Minitech they probably do. Hierarchy did not reproduce locally. There's the server crash. That's going to involve getting an entire server set up running. Or we just take a stab at it. Well, that is in a Docker build, so even then it's not super easy to... Even if I just patch it and test, I still have to get those changes into the container. I probably can compile the server, but I don't really have like a server environment set up out here. What would a server environment even look like? Well, I could possibly figure that out from the Docker container. I wonder if I could compile a server and then copy it into a container? Container source path, dest path, source path. Apparently you can? Yeah, dep files. I guess I've compiled in here before. Oh, so that would be compiling in that directory. Let's make sure this has been built recently because we shuffled our patches. I have to figure out what I do with a server patch. I guess we end up exporting is what we do. So you were a make and then put it somewhere where we can run it. First step is, can we even build? Okay, so I didn't have object files here. It seems to build. So I normally make these containers as delete. So we're gonna have to do some shuffling here. Or we have to figure out the directory stuff. So normally we would run package server run as RM. The mounts are runtime, the port is runtime, I think. And then what would be the command to execute a container? And it's either that or we look at everything we're doing in here and try to shuffle all the files around to get an execution set up. It might even end up looking a lot like the client, just with different settings. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. So I think create creates a new container. Running container. Run a command in a running container. I actually didn't know about that one. Load image from tar archive. Remove. Run a command in a new container. Start one or more stopped containers. Create options, command, image. So is there no way to name this? I just have to go with the hash. I guess I should also check this for the mount commands. Oh, attach a file system. So that is on that side. Do you have the ports too? Well, then I guess what is on it's on start. Oh. So I guess everything would actually be on the create side. Not going to RM it. We're not going to get interactive. Okay, that gave me an ID that I'm going to have to use to start it. So, can you run Docker at all? Okay. Did we create server.exe? Oh, this is actually a Windows build. No, no, it doesn't work so well. So it's not just a copy. Too many folders. All the repo copies. So package server. Is it a Docker file? Yeah, Docker file has all the copies. And they're all separate. Data version number, categories, objects, transitions, tutorial maps. And not get in here. Oh, nope, I didn't want you. All right. Data version number, categories, objects, transition. Apparently you've got tutorial maps as well. I'm not going to have a server code version. Oh, and apparently it's one life server anyway. And then it's going to have different settings. I wonder if their build process did server code version. Well, server code version, I guess I don't know if it's just the thing or if it's like kind of like binary. We'll try 356, which I think is what it is. And then we need your settings, which we're going to have to touch up. OneLifeServer.exe. All right, what do we tweak here? Actually, you know, that's the minimal settings. This is probably all we need for this. Turn off all the servers. Now, I think that there is... He ended up putting in some sort of master setting. And I default to ticket server off in case somebody was using this. Really, the uses should be enough. Okay, so that one is off. Well, actually, it is. Yeah, it's off in general. Use stat server. Use lineage server. Actually, I could probably go and run this command, huh? I want to do it from this directory. Not CD. So, server, Windows, build, one life, one tech docker. Okay, yeah, so a whole. Where did I put you then? Oh, whole docker, not one. And then we look at, what did we not get to? Allow bug reports? Is 0. So I think in food decrement seconds 20. Yeah, okay. So got all that stuff set up. And we eventually want to get set up is we do this. Make and copy one life server. Build. Okay, there's a win. So I don't need to do any mounting or anything with you. As long as I've built the client, I can run that elsewhere. Okay, this, however, is going to be a new map. Yeah, crashes must have killed the animals. So, if I want to rapidly kill myself, I'm going to have to rebuild my little wolf pen and stuff. Where's the gate? No, I didn't want that. I'm kind of standing in a bad spot here. Yep. You must be, yeah, you're probably yellow because you're naturally spawning. So we're on... I can never get back to the arrow focus. There we go. And now we're back to... Okay, we can do that. All right, now, the bug we're trying to test is followers. So we have to have a follower, which we get implicitly just by existing. I'm not dead yet. Oh, I might need... Maybe I need to set up a multi-wolf thing so you can just... Or maybe if I follow the baby and then have it slash die, that would be faster. Yep, server quit. Now you're trying to reconnect. There is no server. All right. Mm-hmm. Da, 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 da. Too many windows. Server.cpp. Oh, yeah, that's not a good one. Okay, so for experimental reproducibility, let's test this real quick. Oh, on Windows, it's not a recoverable crash. So we have to reset it. Why is it looking for... Maybe because we have other map DB? That would be kind of a bummer. Oh, I'm not in that folder. EveDB. Oh man, it corrupted all of them. That's extra bummer. I guess we're trying to die quickly after all. Oh, you finally reported it? Okay. I never quite actually got onto GitHub to do it since nobody else did it. Well, I guess the key question then is, did you submit a patch? And that's one of the things that was kind of a like, well, if I report it, should I have a patch for it? No pull request. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I saw that you had narrowed it down to a line, so I guess I never actually like checked to see if it got reported. Nope, that's not it. 15471. Fittest follower. So we think, and let's well, this might almost be more of a stash thing than a full STG thing. Okay, so this assumes that if there's followers, then something will assign fittest fitness to a... there will be a fitness above 0. So one solution is we check our results. A better solution would be just to say, okay, we know there's at least one. To just initialize it to a valid value. Aww, we've got a little context bug. Which one was it? It's you. Oh, psst. Yeah, not gonna reconnect. Your lady has died. You have inherited her position. So it's going to be an arbitrary assignment. I mean, we could try and bring back, like he used to, like at one time it was age. But, I guess I guess Jason can reject the patch and do that if he wants to. This fixes the crash. Oop, yeah, your control C. Now I guess checking for null would be a little bit safer in case you somehow got a null in this array. This will ensure that there is, in fact, some inheritance if there is no score. So we're setting up a fittest follower. We are using that in several places. So if you just skip it, there's no inheritance. I guess you would just not have the leadership hierarchy maintained then. I guess my one concern then is, well, no, the non-fittest followers are still going to get updated by something. Unless we're counting on this to maintain hierarchy, so you don't need to do that. Gene score server answered in time. Score -1. Oh. Oh. Well, I mean, if your score is -1, that's still not greater than 0. I mean, when he redid tool scaling, it fixed it, but for a while you would get like negative tool slots, and I think it would round it up to 0 or clamp it up to 0. Unless you did a very specific arrangement of the setting files to work around it. So that's the simplest fix. It does not actually give you protection against nulls, though. Now this would make it work, and then we could bail on null, but you'd have to indent all of this stuff into an if. There's message. Char message, okay. Well, assuming that this code, that the direct followers never gets a null in it. You know, given that condition, yes. True. Any like message to followers would probably crash. Uh, Get checkout. As what do we call this? Like an inheritance crash? A leader dies crash? This is specific to no gene server. Fix leader crash without gene server? Is that what it's called? Gene server? Fitness server. Yeah, something marshal modified file. You see, this is the one you might want a larger comment. The editor is kind of busted in here. I have to use caps lock to do capital letters. Let's see. With no fitness server, genetic scores. Is there an official number for that? It is 5 nines. True. I guess I tend to leave maintenance. I would normally leave yep, no fitness server. Really? Because when I know when I had the tool problems, it would say your genetic score is -9999. In fact, I've tended to block it out, but it might still do that. Now, maybe the born time is different than the death time? Yeah. So you think that's a different number than what's being used in this? Well, okay, we'll just say negative. Oh, we got more problems here. And fittest follower. Maybe it hasn't been rewritten at the time you get your birth message. Now, this doesn't actually describe what the patch does. It's effectively arbitrary. I don't know what the insertion order on followers is. Yeah, it's default value. All right, so this is my branch. Does it complete that? It does. All right, so this is issue number 670. Oh, actually, this is a very appropriate place to do that. Or actually, it puts it here. All right. Base repository. Oh, and into. Okay, fixed leader. We have exactly one little change. And that should put a note back to there. Okay, so server crash. Patch submitted. We've got that. We've got... I mean, I don't know what else to do besides patch it myself. And I think... I don't know if there's anything else I really want to tackle in the time that remains. Like, this thing is a whole project, and I'm not even sure it's useful. I do want to try and figure out why it wasn't working last time I played, but I may have just grabbed a version without it. Okay, we're on there. I'm pretty sure I rebuilt this. Oh, well, we were touching code, so I could see differences. Oh, nope, that was the server after all. Oh, no, I'm in this directory, so that... Well, the copy would have failed. All right, and we don't even have a server right now. And hopefully this time, if everything goes smoothly, I'll just remember to version and put all those little fixes. That's it for now. Let's see what we got going on. This is what I'm usually on. Let's see. All right, not a whole lot of code going on. Looks like Rainy's probably doing the Twitch event, or the 2 hours twin event, and I think. Oh man, I have 2 Rainies in my suggested host list. Twitch is killing it today. But yeah, if you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and until next time.